Buenos dias. My name is Ivana Österle, and I am the Executive Director of the International Mediation Institute, or IMI for short. Today, I will give you a virtual walk through IMI, as currently I'm unfortunately not in Argentina, and will guide you through the International Mediation Certification and its competency standards. So let's begin. Please give me a moment as I share my screen. I hope you can see now. So in the next 15 minutes, I will aim to explain to you what is IMI, what are the IMI competency criteria and other IMI resources you may wish to consult, what is the IMI certification pathway, and why certify and how. So, why IMI? IMI is a nonprofit public interest initiative to drive transparency and high competency standards into mediation practice across all fields worldwide. It is an enabling body for the benefit of the market. It is not a provider, nor an association of mediators. We are a vehicle for promotion of mediation through quality assurance. The idea behind establishing IMI 15 years ago was that mediation's ability over time to be recognized as a true profession depends on a certain degree of consistency in delivering a quality product. So standards must be high and also transparent and credible. On this slide, you may see IMI's vision and mission. So it aims to achieve this professional mediation through a setting and achieving high mediation standards, through convening stakeholders and parties, disseminating skills for parties, counsel, and mediators, as well as promoting understanding and adoption of mediation. IMI has therefore established standards and assessment criteria, which are capable of being applied worldwide and usable as a model for national standards. On this slide, you see the various competency criteria which IMI has emerged, as well as the associated recognition. Of course, the most important of which is the IMI Certified Mediator Recognition. IMI is a forum for promotion of mediation, quality mediators, and provider bodies, as well as, well, certainly avoiding of duplication of effort. So IMI has likewise established minimum international standards for mediation training providers, the only ones recognized by an international, so intergovernmental standard setting body, the CEPEJ. On this slide, you can also see the various other criteria which we have emerged and the associated links, which you can click on. Of course, one of the main public policy initiatives beside the credentializing scheme which we have developed is certainly the emerging of the data that it was necessary to get the concept of the Singapore Convention to the table in UNCITRAL and actually to be drafted. We continue to be relevant in this field through various other public policy initiatives. For example, active participation in the US Uniform Law Commission study group, which is considering ratification of the Singapore Convention, as well as with the UNCITRAL Working Group 3, which is deliberating about investment state mediation. IMI also participates with local stakeholders to enhance mediation standards. And just last week, we got appointed as the only international organization to the Ministry of Justice of India's standard setting working group, which will work on implementing legislation for the new mediation bill. Of course, we also consult with various other stakeholders in the mediation space, both formally and informally, and we're happy to talk about that at another time. IMI certainly doesn't do that exclusively through its executive director and operations manager. We have a wide array of committees as well as task forces, which aid in the thought leadership and which are composed of both mediation practitioners, but also academics from across the globe. But let's get back to the certification pathway. What are the benefits of becoming an IMI certified mediator? Well, certainly quality assurance and basis of trust as a first. When working cross-border or internationally, and given the variety of mediation styles that exist in each country, IMI is the only place that enables a mediator to describe what their preferred process and style is in a way that is transparent and where you can get anonymous feedback through the peer review system. This, of course, is increasingly recognized by policymakers and providers as the true quality assurance mechanisms. Through this, you gain credibility in your practice. So users can verify your experience and competence instantly by looking through the profile and the feedback digest. Most importantly, this certainly enables for diversity and inclusion because users might recognize and choose mediators from countries which they might usually not be familiar with mediation practice there. Further, you are distinguished from your peers. So not everybody can become IMI certified. It is a quality mark that distinguishes you nationally and internationally. And IMI certification is the closest designation there is to, let's say, a gold standard for mediation. Being listed as IMI certified means that you are part of the international group of such elite mediators. And IMI certified professionals can use their direct profile links and special IMI logos when marketing themselves to indicate the high quality of their practice. Of course, you have access to users and potential work. So the Find a Mediator page is certainly the most visited part of the IMI's website and the associated various profiles of mediators. So this enables you to qualify for other credentializing opportunities and increase career mobility. IMI certification is recognized as such in many jurisdictions. So for instance, if you wish to move to the UK, you would be able to continue practicing as a mediator with your IMI credentials. Also, there's various cross-recognition schemes that we have, such as with SEMI in Singapore. You qualify for international provider panels. So, for example, IMI, as it works very closely with intergovernmental organizations, this is already the first screening is done for such intergovernmental ombuds and mediation work. Also, certain international mediation centers, such as the ICC, Florence International Mediation Chambers, Singapore International Mediation Center, recognize IMI certification as such, and therefore enable you to be a mediator in these panels. And certainly it gives you a competitive advantage for any INGO work, let's say. We like to say that you also meet user demand, as actually the IMI certification as it was created is based on what users said they want in a series of high public consultation processes that IMI conducted some 10 years ago. Also, needless to say, you're marketed in conjunction with IMI, and of course, you will boost your search results. Last but not least, of course, preference is given to our IMI certified mediators at IMI's both online and in-person events, both for speaking and for participation. And also you help certainly to develop the future of mediation through the listing fees and potentially, if you like, through the additional participation in the various task forces and committees which we have. So how do you become certified? As I said, only mediators with experience can do this, and you need at least 20 mediations or 200 hours. Then you need to apply to a qualifying assessment program, and you can search these programs via Find a Program page on IMI's website. Some assessments are provided online. So the fact that, for example, in Argentina, we do not have yet a qualifying assessment program will not impede your potential certification. You may, after assessment, you should also appoint an independent reviewer. This is typically a peer mediator who will look at your feedback received from clients, so both users and lawyers, and essentially make a feedback digest of at least 10 mediations, so successful mediations and feedbacks. Finally, you need to complete your profile and pay the listing fee, which is currently 125 euros. On this page, you can see what the Find a Mediator search page looks like. And I invite you to look at the various mediator profiles that we have. And here I have listed the various searchability functions that we have, including whether you have signed the Green Pledge, which is very useful for corporates who are now looking for, let's say, greener or more ESG, so sustainable dispute resolution processes, as well as also where you practice, what language you speak, and, for example, mediation style, whether it's facilitative, evaluative, transformative, etc. Of course, IMI is not only about the gold standard high mediation. We also very much think about the future of mediation, which is why we have developed the Young Mediators Initiative and essentially a pathway for young mediators to become certified. I invite you to read more about YMI on our website. And certainly, we all know that parties first knock on lawyers' doors when they need a dispute resolved. And that is why, for me personally, as a lawyer, the negative image that generally the legal profession has in many countries is something that I personally and also IMI is working very much to improve. That is why IMI has, in fact, developed competency criteria for mediation advocacy and has so far appraised 8 programs from across the world, which are displayed here and can be accessed through the various links, which actually deliver assessment and or training in mediation advocacy. Of course, in a 15-minute presentation, I could not hardly reach and speak about all the activities of IMI, which is why in this presentation, I'm just outlining the basics of IMI's work, and I highly invite you to search our website and look at these various links, such as the IMI Code of Professional Conduct, such as the various thought pieces and our evaluation of conflict dispute resolution tool, and especially the thought leadership which emerged last year from the IMI Mixed Mode Task Force working groups, which analyzed, let's say, the intersection between mediation and other dispute resolution processes, such as arbitration. I will end by saying that international certification, and recognizable mediation standards are essential, especially in the era of Singapore Convention, mandating mediation and more frequent use of online mediation. I will cite IMI's Honorary Director, Michael McIlrath, in saying, IMI's mission is to convene, enable, encourage, celebrate, explain, simplify, and above all, to inspire. To succeed properly, it requires everyone in the field, and those who care about mediation, to work more proactively together and aim for the common goal. So, please join us in fulfilling IMI's vision of professional mediation worldwide.